Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Matthias. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Yeah,
Is this Mark?
It is. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Congratulations on the 50th anniversary. The new album sounds as good as anything we've heard from you in years.
Thank you.
What's the feeling like in the camp?
We feel great, and we didn't expect 5 years ago when we announced the farewell to actually celebrate 50 years of Scorpions and having a new album out and going on the road again. That's for sure. But as things happen, as soon as we said, okay, we go on our final tour, the record company gave us a contract for 2 new albums, and I think that's pretty unusual. And we done already the MTV Unplugged, and now this is the latest release, and we were selecting songs from the unfinished songs from the early 80s, because that was the basic idea, release stuff that is unfinished. And we found a few very good ideas. They were not really, recorded well, and there were no lyrics or anything. And just a couple of ideas, we finished those. But during the process of recording, everybody came up with new songs, and all of a sudden we had 19 songs finished, and have a new album out, and we are going on the road again. So everything is good.
That's fantastic. I think one of those older songs that did make it was the one from MTV Unplugged, Rock and Roll Band, which is a great song.
Yeah, this song is also written, I think, 86, 87, 88. It was originally electric, and then we rearranged it for the MTV Unplugged, but now it's back in its original form.
It's great. We actually came out to the US to see you on that 2010 tour, and I know there's been a lot of thinking in between, so it's great to actually see you back. What was it that really tipped the balance, though, and got you back on the road again with a new album? Is it just the way things happened? Everyone had a chance to think about things and decided it wasn't quite time to draw the final curtain?
Yeah. I mean, during the so-called farewell tour, the Sting and the Tail tour, when you saw us in the States 2010, I mean, in the beginning, the band really believed this is what it will be. Let's tour until the end of 2012. And we had this film team with us, and everybody really, because, at the final show in Munich, everybody believed this would have been, or this would be it for a long time. We never said we quit, but we said we get out of the hamster wheel, touring, making albums, going on for 35 years. During that tour, we noticed already we have too much fun to really quit. We want to slow down, and we don't want to play that many shows per year anymore. We played almost something like 120 shows every year, at least. And so we decided to slow down a bit. But when the final show was done, and it was shortly before Christmas, at the end of January in 2013, this MTV Unplugged offer came around the corner, and we couldn't say no. We thought, wow, this is great. This is a great new challenge. We haven't done it in our long career, and so let's go for it. And at the same time, before that, the record company, put 2 contracts on the table, which is unusual, I think, for a band that says, okay, we want to quit. But anyway, so the second attempt is this one now, Return to Forever. And, as I said, we just have still too much fun, and we have such a younger audience, meanwhile, due to Facebook, I think. At least we have more than 6 million Facebook members, and the research says 80% are between 18 and 28 years old.
That's incredible.
So that is, for a band that celebrates their 50th anniversary, that's quite amazing. And, a lot of them obviously rush to the front. So even though it might be only 10 to 15% in the entire audience, those are the ones we see. And this is kind of energy boosting. It's much more fun. And, so
No, it's great, and I can attest to that myself. I mean, I think we caught you in Phoenix and also at the Rock in America, I think it was, festival over there, and the number of young kids that were in the audience was incredible. So it's just that timeless nature of the music. I guess the things that drew us in when we were kids are the same things that draw the kids in today. It's just that.
Yeah.
That class, right? The big question, though, we've got down under, of course, is there's very few places in the world the Scorpions haven't played. China and Australia would be two. Are we going to see you on your final tour?
I mean, we are trying everything to go to Australia. We keep mentioning it in basically every interview. I mean, not like around the world. You know, we haven't played in Australia. China also, but we have a new agent. I mean, the guy we worked with like more than 20 years ago. He's British and he has a lot of experience bringing bands to Australia. And we have a show in China coming up.
Oh, cool!
On the 1st of May, there's a big festival this year, and you know we have a lot of shows booked already for this year. But we keep saying we need to go to Australia. And my hopes are flying high. This time it will work, because I remember when we had like the offer to play. I think it was towards the end of '92 when Wind of Change was even a hit in Australia.
Massive hit, yeah.
Well, we were already on the road for like 2 years, and everybody was a bit burned out and tired, and so we said, next time. Because we were already on the road for such a long time. And there was never a next time. And that is, that's a shame. We all know it, but we don't give up. And so, I would strongly believe that we will make it on this tour to Australia. Don't ask me when, because I don't know yet. But, we're doing everything to make it possible.
That sounds fantastic. That's certainly great news. For a band with such a far-reaching legacy, who've been around for so long, many people, probably myself included, would say that Love Drive was the real change for the band, sort of stylistically. And when you're playing, that really sort of like melodic playing came in. It was a huge hit, sort of commercially and I guess with the fans. Looking all the way back to 1978, when you came through that audition, which I think the guys looked at quite a few guitarists at the time. What's the journey been like for you?
I mean, the rumor has it there was 140 guitar players. Thank God I didn't know. It would have made me nervous. But I mean, you're absolutely right. I think what it takes for a band to be accepted worldwide and be successful, over many decades, it has to, the musical style has to be like very identifiable. It has to be like, you have to have a signature sound, and that was created, I think, when I joined, and we refined it in the early 80s with like albums like Blackout and Love at First Sting, and this was the sound that made us like very big around the world, and we sound like a unit, we sound like a band. And I think before I joined, it was more two different styles within the band, because there was like the Klaus and Rudolph compositions, and the Uli like more Hendrix style composition was very nice, but for the fans obviously they didn't accept it so much. So I think the chemistry and the musical balance within a band is very important, and obviously I've been the right person at the right time.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic, and you're also looking rather good as well. What's your secret? You look the same as you did in the 80s.
Not quite, but from far away, yes. But I think touring can be like a sort of like a fitness program, because you're moving a lot. Sitting in the studio is the opposite. So we are very active, and I think the secret is it's also in your mind. You know, you want to be, you don't, or other way around. You don't want to lose it. You know, you don't want to put on weight. You don't want to, don't pay attention to yourself anymore because we're always in the spotlight. We are filmed. The camera is right there, so you pay more attention. And within this band, I think the most important thing is we all eat very well.
Wow.
You know, we eat healthy, and we don't eat like fat and stuff, and which we don't go to the burger store every day.
Yes.
And so I think that is also part of it.
Yeah.
Other than that, maybe we're a bit lucky.
You never know. Yeah, the new album's got some great songs on. Obviously, the single "We Built This House" sort of looks back lyrically on the trip over the last 50 years as well. And there's some fantastic tracks on there, like Rock and Roll Band that we mentioned before, and House of Cards. Have you decided yet what's actually going to make it into the live set from the new release?
No, but this is what we have to do very soon. Because what has changed over the years is it's not like, okay, we rehearse the music and we include the new songs into the set of the classics and maybe some songs we haven't played before. That's usually the concept when we put together a set list. These days, you have to let the video people, the video designer and all those people know, we need content for the songs, the set list. Those people are the ones that design the multimedia show and the movies and maybe some history stuff. In our case, now 50th anniversary, edit like film and movie stuff. And those people, they need more time to do this than we need for playing the songs. But I think We Built This House and Rock and Roll Band will definitely be part of the new set list. And since especially We Built This House it's definitely the Scorpion signature sound.
Definitely.
And we just shot a video. What's the day? Monday on Saturday in Berlin. So this video is going to be finished in like 10 days time, and then that was also cool. And so we are working like crazy to get everything started and ready for the tour. As I said, 1st of May, China is the first show. And then we start here in Europe, go to Russia, then play all kinds of festivals throughout the summer. And, we haven't even played England on the so-called farewell tour. So this is going to come up also, a big festival in July. And then we go to the States, and then we come back to Europe, and then we go to Australia, hopefully. and South America. So it will be a very long tour again. And I'm really looking forward to it since, the album's quite good, and so it's fun to play the new songs.
Yeah, it will be. With the dates announced and more to come next year, I guess, as well. It looks like a very long stint on the road, as you've said. What do you most enjoy about touring, and with this potentially being the last time you'll be going out, are there any places in particular that you'll find it hard to say goodbye to?
With that feeling that we would say bye-bye, we said bye-bye already, mentally and officially to many places on that farewell tour. I think, looking back, we were probably the only ones who believed it. Because, if you, talk about it, people go, whatever you say, we don't believe you anyway. We never believed that they go. But, we were, for at least half of the farewell tour, it was losing up a little bit, but then, it was like everybody had a mind problem, playing to those fans 5 times a week or 4 times a week and feeling this is going to be the last time. It was like mentally not easy.
Yeah.
And, but for some reason, we brushed it aside and went like, okay, no, let's enjoy it now. And meanwhile, since we are trained to think this could be the last time in whichever city, it won't be that hard anymore. But it is hard to say this is the last time to somebody who is seeing us for the first time. And I mentioned we have such a young audience. Meanwhile, to our own surprise, that those people go, "Oh, it's the first time I've seen you. When are you coming back?" And our answer is, "No, we don't."
As a guitarist, where did your style come from? Was there anyone in particular that you listened to when you were younger, or did it sort of evolve naturally out of a number of influences?
I mean, probably. I never had a guitar coach. I mean, I'm self-taught, and I listened to, all the great guitar players from the 60s and 70s, like Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, and some blues players like Johnny Winter. And I think it's a mixture of that all together. But in the very beginning, I didn't have any records to listen to, so I stole a few from my father's collection, and there was a violin symphony from Felix Mendelssohn Bartholdy, and it's has a very nice melody. I listen to the classic stuff, but some of it you can't really pick out a melody, and I picked this one. It has a very distinct melody and very difficult arpeggios to play. It's violin and it gets very fast. So I played the record on half speed to learn it all, because then it was very slow. It sounds like so it's an octave lower in half the speed, and so I learned from that too. So that's why I know the classic stuff very well, and I would say being inspired by like Led Zeppelin and Hendrix, and not so much Beatles and Stones like many other people from that time.
All the classics, definitely.
Yeah.
What are your personal plans after the tour finishes? Are you thinking of still making music? Maybe a solo record? Have any of those thoughts crossed your mind?
Yeah, my philosophy has always been, I had so many offers for solo albums, especially in the 80s, when solo albums of guitar players were kind of big. But I always thought a solo album makes only sense if it is at least as good as the band's album. So I would have to see it. I'm not really crazy about making a solo album at the moment. I've got plenty to do, but maybe when I'm, after the tour, sitting at home, relaxing for a little bit, maybe preparing something. Yeah, maybe if it sounds great and it's, I'm so convinced that I have to put it out, then I would. If not, if it just sounds okay, I don't think it makes any sense. But I've always play guitar, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You got to remember, guitar players play guitar also because of therapy reasons.
I think you're right. Yes, take some time off after the tour, and we've just got a couple of quick questions.
I probably would.
Thanks for taking the extra time. It's been fantastic. I've just got a couple of quick questions to close. I think we've got about 2 minutes left, if that's okay.
Yeah.
If you could have been a fly on the wall for the creation of any great album, just to see how it all happened and how the players put everything together in the studio, what would it be for you? What's the album that stuck with you all your life?
Electric Ladyland, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty amazing time, I think, in the studio there. And finally, the easy one. What is the meaning of life? Happiness.
Very spontaneously.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. It's as simple as that. We can't wait to hear the tour kick off. There's a few extra tracks as well. I think there's a deluxe edition coming out with 16 tracks of the 19 that you wrote as well. So there's some great versions of Return to Forever out there as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to the Rock Pit. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully we'll catch you, if not in Australia, then somewhere else on the tour.
Yeah, I hope so, but first of all, let's go for Australia, and I'm convinced we make it this time, no matter what.
It's actually Australia Day today, so if you had a message for the Australian fans, what would it be? Just hang in there?
Yeah, hang in there. The Scorpions are on their way. I know we played in Bali, we played New Caledonia, and fans from Australia were coming, in large numbers, to be honest. And everybody said, when we go to Australia, they will be there, and I'm really hoping we get it together this time.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Matthias, and we'll catch you on the final tour at some point over the next couple of years. Thank you.